video? Hey, wanna join me for a video, kitty? Look at the camera. Let everyone see your face. Look at the camera. Smile. Come on, give everybody a good look. Alright, I guess we'll cut it. Good day, folks. Welcome to another video. I hope everybody's doing great today. On this video, I'm going to be driving through Thorntown, Indiana, which is located here in Boone County. It is 10 miles northwest of Lebanon, Indiana, and 37 miles northwest of Indianapolis, Indiana. The current population is 1,432 people, with a population decline of 5.8% as of the 2020 census. And back during the 2010 census, the population used to be 1,520 people, and at that time the population declined 2.7%. Now, just off the top, this appears to be a shrinking town. And when you look at the data, I guess technically you can say it is. But one thing I would like to point out about some of these small towns that I record videos in, and this kind of, I should have understood this before, but oh well. But the more I think about all this, like for a lot of these super small towns, whenever there's a significant population decline, it's not always bad. Well, it's not good, but it's not. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Like this time, for an example, I'm going to assume that the reason for the population decline is because you have certain people that live in this town. They lived here their entire life, and when they get old, they may not be able to take care of their houses no longer. So they have to sell their larger house that sits on a larger lot out here, and maybe they might downsize to a condo, or just like my foster mother up in Ohio has done a few years ago. She used to own a house in town. It was sitting on about a third of an acre. You know, she's in her 90s now, so she sold her house and she decided to rent an apartment, which is located on the outskirts of the town, where her house used to be located. So there's people that may have grown up out here, and due to old age, they may have sold their house, and maybe they went into Lebanon and decided to pay rent at an apartment, or they may have decided to purchase a condo. You also got some of your younger people that may have grown up out here, and some of them may have went on to college, earned their degree, and they may have had to move closer into larger cities for the purpose of employment opportunities. So I would say those are going to be some of the top reasons why you might see a population decline in some of these smaller towns that I do videos in that show that type of growth or lack thereof. And another thing I'm going to point out about this. Well, no, what? Let me keep on going. The racial demographics here are going to be 94.3% white and 3.4% Hispanic. If you're looking to rent, your median rent prices are $700 to $1,520 a month. and your median home price is $247,000. The cheapest house you're going to find right now will be $225,000, according to Realtor.com. Now, as far as how I feel about this community, I think it's a nice small community. It's conveniently located close, within 45 minutes to Indianapolis, and it's only it's practically down the street from Lebanon. Now, at first, I thought the housing prices here were a little expensive. Now, clearly, this is not going to be the cheapest small town in Indiana to live, and that's going to be primarily because of its location, because of its proximity to Indianapolis. Now, I would say, if I were to compare this town to, let's say, Sheridan, Indiana, the video I did yesterday, I would say, depending on like if you're looking to live small town living, and you don't want your community to grow, you want the community to basically stay stagnant, stay just the way it is for however long, for eternity, whatever the case. But at the same time, you prefer to be close to the city, then this is going to be the type of small town that you might want to reside in. Now, if you're the kind of person that, yeah, you like small towns, but you don't mind a little bit of growth, and you prefer to be closer into action, then I would say a good alternative to this small town would be Sheridan, the small town in Hamilton County, the video I recorded yesterday. Because if you go to Sheridan, for one, it's going to put you a lot closer to Cicero and Noblesville, and at the same time, you're going to still be within that 45-minute time span to Indianapolis. So if you're looking for something a little more low-key, then this would be the small town to live in. Now, I will say Sheridan is probably a hairline more expensive compared to this small town. In fact, let me look it up real quick. I mean, I got my notes in front of me, so let me just take a quick look at the housing prices there. Yeah, the housing prices in Sheridan are actually going to be $269,000 as a median home price. So the median home price here is a little lower. It's about a good $22,000 lower on average. So if you choose to live here in Thorntown, housing prices are a tad bit cheaper. But just bear in mind of what I just told you guys. Now we're going to go to niche. And just give me a second here. Okay, out of 8 reviews on these, Thorntown has a 4 out of a 5-star rating. So let's start from the top and we're going to go to the bottom. Nobody rated this community poor or terrible. So we're going to go from 5 to 3 stars on this video. The first review is from April of 2018. This is a 5-star. A small town in Indiana. This town can make anyone feel welcome. It is a very tight-knit community, and this small town has a big heart. I was born and raised in this community, and no matter how far I travel, nothing beats in coming home to Thorntown. And another 5-star from February of 2016. Nothing seriously bad has happened since I have lived here, and the cops are on their A game. Okay. This First review is a 4-star review. It's from November of 2022. Thorntown creates a safe living space for local families. This is a great place to grow as a family and create long-lasting relationships. Small town living is truly unique, and Thorntown is an amazing example. Okay, this next one is another 4-star from February of 2019. The Sugar Creek Art Center and the Turning of the Leaves Festival are the highlights of this small Indiana town. And we'll read one more. It's a 4-star from December of 2018. Thorntown has had a monumental change this year. Now remember, this is from 2018. At the beginning of the year, a young girl died in a car accident, and the community mourned for her as a whole. The local football team won the state championship this year, and just about the whole town came to support them. The way that this town is able to come together in both tragedy and success shows the love of this community, the love that this community possesses. You truly feel like you know everyone, and everyone is willing to help you. Thorntown is a small town with many jobs or nightlife, but the town makes up for it in the sense of community that it brings. Okay, we're moving down to 3 stars. The first one on which is a 3-star, is from October of 2020. Some businesses could use work in customer service. I think that the school system work well. The school systems work well. They also strive to help those in need. And the other 3-star, which is from December of 2018. It's really small, so everyone sort of knows everyone else's business. And there are a few sketchy people around here too. But overall, it's pretty safe. I think the worst that may happen, that have happened, is people doing drugs or target practicing. Everything is within walking distance. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes walking from a further side of town to the elementary school or the park. The people are basically of the same mindset, both religiously and politically. So you likely will stand out if you happen to think differently, but no one will bother you for it. It's also relatively quiet since most people are just keeping to themselves, which I like. And there's also a tiny little museum here too. Just ask a librarian to open it for you. The main attraction, I would say, is the library or the park, but everything else is just kind of small and reserved. Okay, that's gonna do it for the commentary. And again, when it comes to the housing prices, I think the housing prices here are reasonable given how close it is in Indianapolis. And I'm going to predict that this community will turn its numbers around and it will begin to reflect a positive growth. Now, even though the last 2 census years don't reflect that, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that it will turn its stuff around. Because I think there's more, like for those of you that watch this channel, and also people out here in general, there's more people that do not want to live in the city, and they may not have the money to live in the suburbs. So communities like this are going to become very appealing. Like for those that might want to maybe start some kind of a homestead, grow their own fruits and vegetables, and also have a little extra room for those that hunt. You can go hunt and you can do what you gotta do to your hunt in order to have fresh meat. And plus you can, you can get, you can have, you can get your own eggs and all that type of good stuff. I think there's going to be more people that are going to move out here in the, in the very near future. And also, I mean, you guys know by now that I'm not a city person. Now, I will say, however, when I first moved to Indianapolis back in 2010, Indianapolis at that time, in my opinion, was a fairly chilled out city. People were nice. It was just a chilled out type of city, in my opinion, back in the 2010s. I noticed more recently when I go into Indianapolis, like I was there doing some door dashing, which I do got those videos on this channel if you care to watch that. So whether I go there to DoorDash or I drive through Indianapolis to get to other parts of Indiana, one thing I notice about Indianapolis is a lot of people there tend to be pissed off. They tend to be on edge. People tend to be real miserable for whatever reason. Maybe it could be because you got a lot of people that are having to work 60 plus hours a week just to pay their mortgage. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But in any event, I just think Indianapolis has become a city full of pissed off, miserable people, for the most part. I mean, every time I drive through Indianapolis, it never fails. Somebody's gonna always get pissed off and flick me off and toot their horn because of whatever. And I know for me, that's not the type of city, that's not the type of atmosphere that I desire to be around. That's why when it comes to the city, I come to the city, I make my money, I take care of business, and then I get the hell on. Because I just think many of your cities anymore are just full of people that are just miserable. And I just don't want to be a part of that atmosphere. I don't want that type of energy. I'm just not trying to be around it. And I think a lot of people who move to these smaller communities feel the same way that I feel. Now, some of you there's certain people that might speculate and say that it's a racial thing. And I'm not going to lie to you people. I used to be one of the people that used to think like that. But the older I get, the more I see, the more I travel. I mean, yeah, maybe there's some people that might feel a certain way racially, and that's why they do move to many of these smaller communities. But I know for me personally, and there's also more people like me of my ethnicity that feel the same way I feel when it comes to living in the inner city. It's like, man, we don't want to deal with that energy. We don't want to deal with a bunch of pissed off, miserable people that are going to get into their emotions and do something drastic. We just don't want to deal with that. We love life, we enjoy life, and we just don't want to deal with bullshit. Alright folks, that's going to do it for my commentary. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video. As always, if you like my videos, if you like what I do, support the channel. Give videos like this a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. And on that note, stay blessed. I'll catch you all in the next one.